I'm honestly not gonna act like I didn't just walk in here, like, set this phone up. I'm not gonna act like that wasn't a whole thing, but you know what, it works, so honestly, who cares? I have just about zero time to make something that's thoughtful and artistically impressive, but I have time to make something that's honest, you know, and don't really expect anything too impressive. And if you're wondering, this character's motivation is to get something done. That's the driving force of this. Just in case if you were wondering, you probably weren't though. So this is really just gonna be me trying to create this moves. Huh, that's nice. So this is just gonna be a couple videos of me explaining how I got myself into this situation. Tonight is when all the final projects are due, and I have pretty much nothing. My film group is kind of, I'm not going to try and blame any of them for this, this is actually going to try to avoid exactly that, but it's really like just me trying to get something out there. And come to think of it, I should probably go make a YouTube apology video thumbnail real quick. I'll be right back. So now that I have all the essential ingredients of terrible video quality and a clickbait thumbnail, I can really get down to the nitty-gritty. So remember from last semester my project, it was called Film. It was shot on an iPhone. Yeah, I had a week to make that. I have about 3 days to make this if I can't make it in the first 5 hours. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. I wrote down, I'm going to be looking at this whenever you can see me. I'm going to be looking at this because I can't memorize lines. Honestly, I'm not an actor, which is probably not a good idea. Yes, my nails are painted, by the way. So what I'm not here to do is to say that it's somebody else's fault, to point my finger and say like, oh, they're the reason that I'm doing this. I'm trying to look at how I got myself here, because I recognize that I am mostly to blame for my own, for my own terrible situation. I feel like seeing as how I have been a part of a lot of terrible film projects, I mean, yeah, sure, some good ones, but a lot of terrible film projects, I have some grounds on which I can stake my claim. Honestly, like, I'm making this whole thing because I realize that in all of this, like, terrible filmmaking, I am the common denominator. I'm not the only common denominator, I'm not the only thing that is consistently wrong, but I am a part of all of that, whether I like it or not. This first episode, though, I just want to start by taking a trip down memory lane and exploring my old film projects, which hopefully very few of them saw the light of day. Year one of film, I was incredibly excited and yet so incredibly ignorant of what was soon to come. When I learned how to follow the script format and when I learned how to edit in Adobe Premiere, I felt so accomplished, and I mean, it was awesome. I wasn't really doing that well in some of my other classes, which should have been like a bit of foreshadowing. I had an F in English, I had a couple of D's, but film was always a really solid A. It wasn't that hard. I just had to write a couple of mediocre scripts, and I needed to know how to press record on a little Sony camera that we had. My first project was the Skills and Drills, which I fear that most of you are very familiar with. It was just kind of that, like, oh, you need to get like 15 different angles in this project, and you have to put it against some music. It was a 1-minute video. And another, like, brilliant moment of foreshadowing, I got it turned in late. Following that, my other film projects were, I would say, catastrophic failures. You know, I had The Life of a Book, I had A Woman's Fire, which sadly some of you know the title. But I wrote it off as, like, whatever, it's my first year of film, and everybody's first year is that bad. So enter year 2 of film. Any of you who have ever heard the title Dos Equis know how bad year 2 was for film. I don't really think any of my film projects actually got finished that year. I mean, I had one good one that also never saw the light of day, unfortunately, but you know what, it happens. I somehow passed film with an A, and some of my other classes were similar to freshman year. Let's just say I cut it a little close. But all in all, nothing really happened in year 2. Then we get to year 3. Funny enough, I would say that this has been my best year for film. Semester 1 somehow worked out because by some miracle, both Transformations and Procrastinate, which I worked on, got finished. I also finished the aforementioned film, which got okay ratings. I did pass most of my classes rather comfortably, though first semester was close to being very, very bad. Now, in semester 2, I am working on a web series called It Just Happened, which, so that's honestly the bare minimum of what you need to know about my film class history. Honestly, it's a mystery to me how I managed to last this long. I want to wait till the next episode to get to the super introspective part, but I don't really know how to end this episode, so I'm probably just gonna cut it right here.